There's a popular belief that changing transmission fluid will somehow ruin your transmission. Many drivers are afraid to touch a gearbox with high mileage because they've heard stories about cars failing right after a fluid change. But this myth survives only because people confuse correlation with cause. Today, we'll break down where the myth came from, what the facts really say, and when a fluid change helps or hurts your transmission. Where the myth comes from. For decades, drivers shared the same story. Everything was fine. Then someone changed the transmission fluid, and suddenly the gearbox started slipping or failing. It's easy to assume the fresh fluid caused the damage. But in reality, the transmission was already worn, already contaminated, already slipping, and the new fluid simply exposed the problem that was there long before the service. The myth continues because failures often happen right after the fluid change, not because of it. Fact 1. New fluid does not break anything. Modern transmission fluid contains detergents and friction modifiers. These chemicals are designed to clean, lubricate, and stabilize clutch packs and valve bodies. Fresh fluid doesn't destroy a transmission. In fact, every automatic, CVT, and DCT is engineered with the expectation that the fluid will be replaced on schedule. Manufacturers recommend fluid changes for a reason. Worn-out fluid loses its ability to cool, loses pressure, and slowly destroys internal components. Fresh fluid prevents damage. It doesn't create it. Fact 2. The real damage happens when people wait too long. Most failures attributed to a fluid change actually come from years of neglect. When fluid breaks down, it stops protecting the clutches. Friction material wears off and mixes into the fluid. This dirty fluid helps maintain pressure temporarily, like adding thick syrup into a hydraulic system. When you finally replace it, the transmission loses that artificial pressure boost, and the internal wear, which was hidden, suddenly becomes obvious. The problem was neglect, not the fluid change. Fact 3. Proper service method matters. There's a big difference between a gentle drain and fill and a high-pressure flush. A flush can dislodge debris quickly and push particles into delicate valves. But a simple drain and fill, done at the correct temperature and using the correct fluid, is safe even for older transmissions. This is why many manufacturers no longer recommend flush machines. They recommend only controlled drain and fill service. When done properly, it never harms a healthy gearbox. Fact 4. High-mileage cars benefit from gradual service. For transmissions with 150,000 miles or more, technicians often recommend staged maintenance. A partial fluid change restores lubrication without shocking the system. After a few hundred miles, a second drain and fill brings the fluid closer to factory spec. This slow approach avoids sudden pressure changes and helps the transmission adapt. High-mileage transmissions typically fail because they were neglected, not because their owners finally decided to maintain them. Fact 5. Manufacturers themselves disprove the myth. Every automaker, Toyota, Honda, Ford, GM, BMW, Hyundai, outlines fluid change intervals. They publish this because fluid maintenance extends transmission life. No manufacturer recommends never touch it. Even lifetime fluid marketing has fine print that says under normal driving conditions, which almost no real driver meets. If fresh fluid truly ruined transmissions, manufacturers would not recommend changing it or use it in warranty repairs. Final verdict: transmission fluid doesn't destroy transmissions. Neglect, overheating, and worn internal components do. A proper fluid change is essential maintenance, not a threat. The only time a transmission fails immediately after a fluid service is when it was already failing internally. Changing fluid didn't destroy it. It revealed the damage that was already there.